Hi guys, so I'm Sally Brady, business planning specialist, and I am talking you through how to build cash flow. So this is session three. So if you hadn't already seen session one and two, go back and look. So session one, I'm talking about picking your poison, what you're actually going to use to build your cash flow. So whether you're going to look at an Excel sheet, whether you're going to use Google Docs, or whether you're going to use some fancy software. Well, if it depends how funky you are. But to be fair, I'm an Excel geek. I love Excel. So I generally use Excel because it's all very nice using software, but it doesn't know what's up here, does it? It can't predict what you're going to do in the future or what sales you want to make. So it can tell you what's in there now, it can tell you what was in there historically, but it can't go forward. Only you can do that because you generally have it all up here. So that's about picking your poison. Next, I wanted you to become a detective and find out all about the information that you need to gather. So we were looking at all the sales information you currently have. So whether you've got sales that are going to happen in the future, whether they're happening now, when you're going to get paid, if you're not going to get paid. So there's always that element that you've got to build in too. And finding all those pesky little direct debits. So where are they? Where are they hiding? And having a good look at what you've got. So I was asking you to gather all your information together, get your bank statement out, get your bills out, and be very much aware of what you're spending. So it generally becomes a bit of an eye opener at this point because if you're anything like me, I have more than one Disney Plus account. So yeah, it shouldn't be going through the business, and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'll tell you that another day. But it also highlights to me that I was paying for it twice. So you might find exactly the same, that you've got more than one direct debit going out for something in particular, or maybe you are paying for Canva Premium, but do you need to? Yeah, I like it. I use it. We do a lot around it, but you might not. Your Zoom subscription, it's sometimes cheaper to pay annually rather than monthly. So it's worth having a look at all these things. So while you're gathering that information and becoming a little bit of a detective around it, it's, how you're actually going to use it, what you're going to do with it. And that is what I'm going to teach you today. Now, I'm going to share my screen in a minute because one of the things I want to show you is two spreadsheets that I use. Now, I'm happy to share these with you. So if you want them, reach out to me and I will send them to you. It also means you go on my mailing list for anything else we're doing because we do a business planning course and that covers all of this and that is available online. If you look at the links below and if you subscribe below, you'll get to find out about these. Now, the Business Planning 101 course, again, it teaches you all about business. It's a rounded information hub about business. So it teaches you how to build a business plan, how to track it, how to manage your cash, how to track your cash. So this is just a small insight into what we actually do. So, right, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen with you now. So hold tight and I will show you two different cash flow scenarios. Okay, so this first one is a very, very simple sheet and it's one I generally get people started with. So at the top, we've got all the income, so you can have all your different types of sales, and you can build this out as detailed as you want. You can add more lines in of individual sales, or you can just keep it to one line of sales, depending on what you've got. And then down here, we have all of our expenditure. So, and then at the bottom, the net income and outflow is the difference between the income coming in and the expenses going out. Right, the bank balance brought forward should be the bank balance you're starting at. So if you're starting on the 1st of January and you've got £2,000 in the bank, that is exactly what goes in here. And then the carry forward is the amount you've got left to push through to next month. So that'll start to appear in here. Okay, prior week and variance, this is where it can get a little bit complex. You don't have to use these, but generally prior week says to me, right, I thought I was going to have £2,000 in the bank, but at the end of the month rather, when I checked my account, I had £6,000. Wow, I did much better than I expected. So it meant that I had £4,000 more than I expected. So that makes me go, oh, how did that happen? I'll go and have a little look. The other thing you can do with this is you can put away your tax and profit. Because if any of you have read a particularly good book, I recommend called Profit First, then one of the things he teaches is took away your tax, took away your profit. Now, I also teach that to my clients too. So, depending on how much you're earning, these are the bits that keep you tracking. So you can move that money in and out of here as well. So it's just a way of looking at things. So if you don't want to do this bit and it's too complicated, just ignore it. But the first things we're going to do is we're going to go to your bank statement and we're going to go, right, okay, so how much does your mobile phone cost this month? It might cost £50. Put it in. Is it £50 throughout the year? If it is, just drag that across to the end of the year. That's your first expenditure. How much is your insurance? You probably have liability insurance and maybe employer insurance. Depending on how many insurances you've got in your business, but that could be £100 a month. Put it in. If it's £100 throughout the year, make it £100 throughout the year. You might have an office. That might cost you £1,000 a month. Great. So, but in April, it might be renewed and it might cost you £1,500 a month. So you're pretty unlucky, but hey, that's what happens. So you plot what you know. So you get the gist now. So you go through all of your expenditure and you plot all your expenditure first. Because I believe that going bottom up, basically expenses up, it gives you a real insight into your business. Because a lot of my clients will tell you they have a bit of a, not great moment. It's a little bit of a swear word in there normally, but this is one of them. This is where you go, oh my God, this is how much I'm spending. So whilst you start plotting these, you'll say, right, okay, I'm spending £500 a month on Facebook ads. Wow. Should I be spending that much? Can I afford to? At the moment, you've got quite a lot of expenditure coming out. So once you've plotted all that, you then go and say, right, okay, in January, I've got so many clients on retainer, and that's just on my one-to-one business. So out of my retainers, I might get £2,000 this month. So great. And actually, those retainers at the moment, they're going to last this next 12 months. So I'm going to put them in for the next 12 months. So you can see what starts to happen here. So I've got £2,000 coming in. At the moment, I've got £1,650 going out. Well, this pounds, dollars, whatever you're using. So I'm just using pounds because obviously being British, I'm using pounds. But I also work with American clients. I actually have clients in Dubai and South Africa. So I have clients all over the place. So I'm used to currency. So whatever currency suits you, it's just a spreadsheet. So this then looks at, right, okay, so got £2,000 coming in, I've got £1,650 going out, excuse me, £350. And you can see here, this is working out the tax and the profit I can put into my savings accounts. So, because if I'm making that much in money coming in, I'm going to take away 20% from my tax, depending on where you are in the world, and actually 10% of my profit, because I might need a bit of profit later on because I might want to expand the business, so I might want to invest. So it gives me a little bit to invest in. Right. And you can see here as well that balance changed from £2,000 here to £2,350. And that becomes my balance carried forward. So you can see what's happening. Okay, money in, money out. That's all we're doing. It makes it easy. And again here, you might not have non-widget sales, and that might be your consultancy sales. This might be like me, course you've got running. So you're selling that course, £100 a month, but you want 10 people on it. So in January, you're really going to drive those 10 people onto that course. So you do 10 times the 100. So you've got another £1,000 income coming in. And see the figures? They change down here. So a lot of people say to you, oh, Sally, how can you plot a year ahead? Well, you can see how easy it is now. You know what costs you've got coming in. You know what income you want to make. So that really focuses you on the income you want to make if you don't already know it. Here you might have some sales outstanding. Joe Blogs are supposed to pay me in January. I reckon he's going to pay me in February. So he owes me £500. So I'm going to put that in there. And you can change these, I say, to whatever you like. Just make it easy for yourself. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't start putting fancy formulas in and working things out. Keep it simple. If you don't keep it simple, you won't track it. Trust me. I know what you're like. I know what you guys are really, really like. So, as simple as that. If you're making a product, okay, I would expect you to know what you're selling and what it costs. So if you've got products in here and you're selling them for £500 a piece, so we've got one. Okay, so in here, I want you to put, rather than healthcare, you're going to have your supplier costs. So you're making a 50% profit on that. So your cost is going to be 250. So that is where you put your supplier costs. So this is where I expect you to know what you're selling and what it costs. If you don't, give me a shout. We cover it on the Business Planning 101 course. So you'll be in safe hands. So right, the next thing I'm going to share is another spreadsheet that is slightly more complicated. But obviously, I want you to have the best of both worlds. Okay, so this is a slightly more complex spreadsheet, very similar to the one we were just using. I've taken out the variance and about the profit and the tax, but you can add those in. As you can see, it's still the same in the terms of format. So you've still got your sales and different types of sales, still got loads of different expenditure, so you can do it a bit more businessy, this one. It's not quite as personal. So the only difference is this column here and this column here. So what we're actually doing now, and keep going right the way through the year, we've got actual columns in. So we're going to plot our budget here, and we're going to say, or plot our cash. I'm going to make £2,000 in sales, and I'm going to spend about £100 million, whatever you want to spend. And my bank balance starting off here, it was £2,000 again, so I've got 2,500. Right, in July, what actually happened? Wow, I had an absolutely stonking month. Got £3,000 in. My supply was a bit higher than that as well. But you know what? My my insurance was spot on. So you can see what happened, right? Okay, so out of that actuals column, we'll put in the bank balance, and we'll make that formula work. It's not working right now, so that's looking really good. Right, so instead of getting 5,000 net income and outflow, I have £1,000 because I actually did better than I expected. Why did I do better than expected? I can see straight away. So you can start tracking your cash. So that goes, if I can do 3,000 this month, down the line here, maybe next July, or halfway through the year, Christmas is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to make that 5,000 rather than 2,000. So you can see it, and then you can put in your actual. So you can start to get the visibility within your business. Again, as I said to you, don't overcomplicate it. Don't put some stupid formulas in that's going to work it all out for you, because it doesn't happen. Keep it simple. Keep it really, really simple. Have a look at your bank account every month. Just put in what actually happened and see what difference it makes. Because this actual tracking is the bit that really focuses you in your business. So I say to you, we cover this on the Business Planning 101, but I am happy to share these spreadsheets with you. They are simple. You can even take my branding off if you want, because it's just a spreadsheet at the end of the day. Although maybe it's nice to see my face and my name, so that it gives you a bit of a nudge on what you should be doing. But hey, these are simple tracking tools. So what I want you to do now is go away and track it. And then in session 4, we can get a bit more complex with this. So if you haven't already seen session 1 and 2, off you pop, go and see what session 1 and 2 are about. Then start plotting in session 3. And I say, if you want the spreadsheets, drop me an email, subscribe, drop me an email, and I will add you to the list, and you can have a little look and see what's going on. And you can start designing these spreadsheets yourself. You might prefer Google Docs. You can dump this into Google Docs, but you've got the framework there. I've done the hard work for you. So crack on. Go and see how you get on with plotting your cash flow. And don't forget, session 4 will be coming next. So subscribe and make sure you hit the button so you get the next video and you get highlighted when it's loaded. Right, I shall see you soon.